Hello, Professor. This week for rescue practices, I will be presenting my term project on rope rescue, and I will be presenting a few pictures throughout while I'm reading on the slides. And just sit back and enjoy. Um, the ever increasing and dynamic demands in firefighting and rescue services have led to the incorporation of different technicalities in the firefighting career. These include the use of ropes during firefighting or rescue operations. This research gives a general overview of the techniques of rope rescue in firefighting, events to use ropes, and it's important to rescue operations. How I will be teaching how to maintain a good condition so that we can keep them operational. Rope rescue is a fundamental skill to becoming a firefighter, and we should have that knowledge with us and be ready for when that time comes. Rope rescue is the use of ropes or other similar components, either in a whole part or during any rescue operation. For this definition, it means that rescue can involve other similar components which are not ropes but still termed a rope rescue. Rope rescue has also been defined as any rescue operation that requires the use of rope or similar equipment to gain safe access to and evacuate from hazardous geographical areas to save victims. These areas include towers, above or under bridges, and mountains. For rope rescue, it could be three different categories: low angle, which are those 40 degrees inclination or less; steep angle, which are those 40 degrees and 60 degrees between those; and high angle rescues, which are 60 to 90 degrees, according to Morgan Company Emergency and Rescue Squad. Some of the incident personnel that show up play a very crucial role when performing rope rescues. The belayer or the brake tender, this job is very important because essentially their sole purpose is to protect the person on the rope and is the safety operation of the system. Another important position is the edge tender, who has to look out by the edge to see the rescue team inside, whether or not they need help when they are not visible. And lastly, but surely not least, is the hauling team. This team is set by the expected load size so they can reduce the need of equipment in order to extend the hauling system. High angle rope rescues occur in very steep areas in ranges of 60 to 90 degrees, in which primary sources support is a rope system. This requires high skilled rope rescues to operate in such an environment. Evacuations of victims in this case require evaluation of the most appropriate method for evacuation. Horizontal raise or lowering is the most applied in high angle rescue. The victim can be raised or lowered by a harness or packaged in a litter for raising or lowering. A, a two-rope system with an extra anchor system should also be used and include a belay line to enhance stability. The litter attendant can be one or two with primary or secondary attachments to the litter. Steep angle rescues in areas range between 40 to 60 degrees inclination. This should be analyzed before beginning the rescue. The state of the victim determines the extrication that should be applied. Rescuers in this situation can assist the victim with the use of a tagline or belay if the victim can walk. However, in this case, if the victim cannot walk, the rescuer will have to set up an anchor system and package the patient properly in a litter for evacuation. Maximum of 3 litter bearers attached to the litter, and set up an extra raising or lowering line, and set up a belay line for this rescue. This requires more caution as injuries can occur in this form of rescue much higher than high angle rescues. And lastly, low angle rescues occur in an environment of less than 40 degrees inclination. Most rescuers can assist in form of rescue. The form of equipment to be used also depends on the condition of the victim. If the victim can walk, it'll be easier to take them by foot or take them to a safe way of egress, whether it's by foot or to a window in a harness. However, if the victim is injured, make sure they are well packaged in the stove basket and evacuated into a safe place. The litter should be attached to a tagline for a minimum of 4 litters. When in a road rescue, you still need to have your situational awareness up. That will help you look around at the complex nature of the situation, and using your knowledge, you will point out the hazards that may impose themselves to you when you're at the scene. Some things firefighters should look out for is leaking or spilling of hazardous materials, downed electric wires, and potential fuels or even explosive fuels. Some features of the area that you should look out for are lack of anchor points, loose or rocks falling, and sharp edges that may pose a threat. Rope rescue is a very technical field in firefighting, and the application of the technique can be complex in an incident involving extreme heights or a very simple drag of a stoke stretcher to the waiting ambulance or sending aid to a trapped victim. Fire incidents may occur in different environments, and that requires the use of different techniques in firefighting, such as fire rescue in a tall building, bridges, ditches, marine areas, and ice. The use of rope rescue services continues to increase, and hence the importance of the training of the firefighter. In this technique and how to adapt to the profession. Our changing environment also prompts manufacturers of modern rope equipment for fire rescue, such as creating transport equipment and that could transport people from a place of danger to a safe place. Although some professionals argue that the technique that technical rescue is different from that of a firefighter due to the high cases of extreme urgency and requirement of shortcuts for firefighters during operations, which may not be the case for trained firefighters who is keen to abiding to specific and guided rules in rope knotting and other strategies in rope rescue. Rope rescue is an expensive technique that requires specialized equipment and training. Some fire service departments have the resource available to properly staff and equip a team. Thus, there should be an agreement on staffing and funding in the fire service department. To have resources necessary during operations and have proper trained and equipment response. The training for special techniques should be done on special days to avoid distractions and ensure good understanding of strategies and techniques. In carrying out rope rescue, it is essential to have complete appropriate materials. These materials are some of these, which include appropriate rope, most likely current mantle rope because it's dynamic, carabiners, screw links, webbing, descent control devices, rope grab devices, Prusik, ascenders, knot crafts, bends, hitch, anchor systems, stokes, and belay systems. For maintenance of rope rescue equipment is very expensive and it requires appropriate maintenance. According to manufacturers, specific repairs need to be done by qualified personnel because it is rare use. Some users may try to stretch the life of the span of the equipment due to the minimal wear and tear. Hence, users advised to always know the following tips when you're maintaining ropes. You should carry out twice annual inspections of the ropes, and after every use you should inspect the rope and keep it dialed on the log. During the inspection, take note of any changes or damages to the rope and report immediately to the team lead if it's damaged, or changes may include sheath damage, visible damage to the core, contamination from chemicals, petroleum, spots or burns. Ways to care during the operation is avoid stepping on the rope. Don't allow the ropes to run over sharp corners or scraps. Do not allow it to expose to chemicals, petroleum products, battery acid, or vapor. Avoid mechanical or heat damage to the ropes. Do not allow heat close to nylon ropes. And always keep dry as moisture reduces the strength of the rope. And how to store the ropes is lay the rope in forward reverse manner, which allows complete visibility during an inspection and avoids exposure to petroleum, battery acid, vapors, residue, and chemical products. Do not lay on concrete walls, store under the sun, or store when knots are left inside the rope, because this can wear and tear the rope. Clean ropes with a mild detergent in cool water, preferably in a tub where dirt can easily be filtered from the rope. Avoid cleaning the ropes under a hose or pressure water. The ropes could easily be damaged, such as cleaning methods do not remove all the ropes, but instead force into invisible areas of rope. Ropes are to be air dried, inspected, and serviced before use. Stop using the rope in an event if the following occurs. If it becomes damaged or develops a fault, such as here, if the rope becomes worn out or old, when the outer sheath is broken beyond half, it becomes contaminated by chemicals and petroleum. It has reached specific lifespan, which is typically like 5 or 10 years, specified by the manufacturer sometimes. Keep account usage to determine when to stop the usage of the rope. If the life safety does not seem damaged, for example, the abrasion, compression, fatigue, or heating, etc., we should look out for these damages, for any damages on the rope, and change the life safety rope to a utility rope to minimize the dangers on the scene and make sure rescue operations aren't put on jeopardy. Rope rescue is highly technical, and the importance of learning and practicing strategies cannot be overemphasized. Learning the strategies must be also combined with understanding the reason behind each technique or strategies, as the urgency of the firefighter operation can require the use of creativity or achieve most techniques and ensure the safety of others. During rope rescue, ensure patients or victims are well packaged, and if it involves a Stokes basket, ensure the patient's weight matches the form of equipment being used for carriage. Even though the rope matches the weight of firefighters, some firefighters have lost their lives using the wrong rope rescue. In the case of 27th of June 1980, where the 7th floor complex in a New York building engulfed in fire, massively spread to the upper floor, as in as an attempt to rescue victims. Two firefighters with a combined weight of 440 pounds using a 1.5-inch nylon rope which was way lesser than their weight. The rope failed on both firefighters and they died in the incident in 1980. The rope basket are also meant for different purposes. It ensures to use the right rescue basket, either for raising, lowering, or dragging the patient. Maintain stability by ensuring that the patient is laid properly in the basket, and 3 connections to be stable. 2 connections to the ladder and 1 connection lowering the rope. Control with enough to support the ladder on the ground, and with enough personnel to support the ladder on the ground and rigged with guys lines. The rescuer with lowering rope may feel that they can control the rate of patient rising or lowering by hand alone. A safety consideration is to secure the rope to the basket, then find the appropriate anchor for friction device, such as MPD, Barrick, or Rescue 8. Rigging your ladder hinge with these devices on the line prevents catastrophic failure of your load. Should something happen and the rescuer lose control of the line, you have something to fall back on. As a rope rescue technique, a ladder hinge is a great option available for firefighters and rescue team. When performed safely and practiced regularly, this method can quickly evacuate the patient to higher or lower ground elevations as a rope rescuer in the firefighting. Remembers to always seek new training from qualified instructors and practice before using new equipment or technique in rope rescue. In conclusion, this paper discussed the technique of rope rescue and notable strategies in rope rescue. The techniques are wide, and our changing environments will require creativity and innovation, as such situations require continuous practice in rope rescue. The skill in rope rescue can become a necessity in certain firefighting rescues, and the importance of such skill to a firefighter cannot be overemphasized. When in this case, it becomes necessary that the firefighter understands the certain length of rope and the strategies involved using them. Some countries even have some rope rescue training towers and building to aid learning and mastering. A major benefit from learning rope rescue techniques is that it could become very handy in any fire operations, either in a confined place, high or low rise building, or even in a self-rescue. These scenes and scenarios could all be assessed upon reaching the scene of the accident. Determining the form of rescue that should be carried out will influence the kind of rope and method that will be applied in such rope rescue techniques. Rope rescue is a technical and could lead to many injuries and deaths if you're not careful. Thus, a rescuer or a firefighter who would want to apply rope rescue techniques should always know that the strategies, materials, and concepts are wide, and it requires a lot of practice and a learning of understanding every basic in rope rescue. Hence, it is advisable to undertake lots of practice and with qualified instructors and learn widely in order to master rope rescue. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation.